the spring gun built in. Left cheek still where the right one jumping. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Wine a natural gift, we don't need no rehearsing. Tick, tick, tock, stick, stick to the timing. Wine style and a pattern and designing, y'all. Back it up, back it up, back it on something. When you see we moving, don't fret. You like what you see and join me. What you see we doing, don't say. Shut your mouth and wine away. When you see we moving, don't fret. You like what you see and join me. What you see we doing, don't say. Shut your mouth and wine away. I wanna wine on something. I wanna wine on something. I wanna wine on something. Well, are you ready? Are you ready for the ride now? No time to try and shy. Flip it up, put it high now.
Once again, it's the Flavor Radio alongside the soca scene.
Ready for the ride now. Hold on, cause
and it's indeed a special day right here on the socascene.com. Got another special guest in the studio. I got to say welcome to the Flavor Radio. Also, welcome to the Soca Scene, Miss Lyons. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm good to go.
I like that, man. They got a bunch of rhymes today. Too blessed to be stressed.
Yes, sir.
How was Carnival for you?
Fabulous. Very hectic, very busy, very entertaining, very informative. We did a lot of restructuring this year, and I have to say I'm very pleased with the outcome.
Restructuring? How so?
Well, we changed management for one.
Right.
We opened our own management company. We have a new staff. We opened our own promotion company. We launched our own studio. We launched our own band room. We launched our own management team. So it was like a total.
I actually was reading about that. And there was some controversy about that.
Some controversy, but there's always two sides to a story, and the proof is in the pudding.
So what's your side?
My side is management basically did some things that didn't sit right with me from a business perspective.
Okay.
For one of the reasons behind it is I am actually a law student. So from a legal perspective, some of the things that he was doing was not very kosher.
Ah, right. Okay.
So, and wanting to protect yourself as an artist, having been privy to a bunch of artists around the world coming forward with their stories of being taken advantage of by management, through improper planning, stuff going on, shady deals, all these different things. You didn't want to fall victim to that. And a lot of the times you realize it's not due to the artist's own negligence, but trust. Because a lot of times you trust somebody and then people say, you know what, you're very negligent because you weren't minding the business. But then you can't trust somebody and still monitor them. Then that's not trust.
That's true.
You understand? So on the basis of trust was one of the things that we had issues, because if somebody's doing something for you and you trust them to do it, I shouldn't have to look over your shoulder to make sure that what you say you're going to do, you're doing. And in doing the look over the shoulder, I realized what you told me that you were supposed to be doing, you're not actually doing. Then we're going to have a problem. And a problem arose with certain things that was supposed to be done, and he basically wasn't doing it, or was doing it but it benefited him. And at the end of the day, the artist is the one that takes the hit public-wise.
Right.
So if money is missing, or the artist's career flops, or the music is not being done properly, management doesn't get blamed. But if the artist is successful, people credit your management for the wonderful job they're doing. So we have to always be mindful as artists that, you need to mind your business, so to speak. You need to know what's coming in, what's going out. Because when you have taxes and all these things piling up on artists, and you're like, how'd you wrap that? Like, when you're paying attention, it's because they trust certain people to take care of their business, and this is a result of that. So, based on that, we decided just go over everything, monitor, and some of this stuff you couldn't account for, there's no explanation for. So, the easiest thing to do is to go trash artists in the paper. Oh, they did this, they did that. Which, he has a right to do. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But my route was to put in place all the things that I made a fuss about. So one of the things was we didn't have our headquarters. We bought a building. Now we have our own place. We didn't have proper structure. I registered a company. I hired a staff. Now we have that. We didn't have a band room. We built a band room. We flew in a bunch of equipment. Now we have our own band room. Didn't have a studio. Flew in equipment. We hired 2 engineers. Now we have our own studio called Soundlock Studio. So every single thing that we fussed about is now in place. So the most, they could go say is attitude, this, that, the other. But at the end of the day, what you see is real progress. What you hear is old talk.
So you said that you're a law student. So are you thinking about life after soca music?
Oh, you have to. I think all musicians should think about life after their musical career. Not because after your musical career it's done, that's it. A lot of the artists make enough money where they could survive or live for the rest of their lives. But you have to think of your own mental well-being. Some people, they retire from a particular job,
Right.
and they basically go downhill mentally because the job sustained their mental health by keeping them active, keeping them alert, keeping them, alive and wanting to go on each day. But then you leave that job and then you're just sitting around the house doing nothing. So it's not for career purpose from an income perspective. It's more from my personal liking to be up and doing stuff and being involved. So if I can't be on the stage doing music and jumping up and down and running up and down for whatever reason, I'd like to be at least still actively involved. And not just involved, but involved from a very educated standpoint where I'm able to understand documents and what I have to sign and what I'm getting myself into before I actually get myself into it. So it's from that perspective. More of a self-improvement sort of thing.
Gotcha. Being fair in Lyons and married to Bunji Garlin, do people treat you differently? Those producers or folks like that treat you
Or
differently?
they initially start, which is awesome, and then I prove their butts wrong. It's like, we've been in situations where, like even some of the artists, because a lot of the artists, they tend to know him because he did more crossover stuff than I did.
Right.
And it's not because I'm incapable of doing the crossover. It's just that that's his thing. So I was always hardcore soca because of my parents and because of my upbringing. And it's always funny to be in the studio, whether we're in Jamaica or wherever, and a beat comes on and he starts and the other person starts and they're like this, and he turns to me like, you get something fit, and they're looking at him like, why are you looking at her? Get something for what? And then I would start and be like, damn, you could. I'm like, yeah, I practice to sing like everything. R&B, pop, hip hop, trap, this, that, the other, you name it, I all up in it. So it's very funny to see the look on people's faces when they realize, okay, you're not just another face, or you're not just another person's wife. You're actually capable of holding your own.
What do you think thus far is your biggest achievement thus far in your life?
Standing on my own 2 feet and not living under my dad and my husband's name. A lot of females tend to always be recognized because they of their affiliation with another artist that's in their life. And for me, coming out of the Super Blue daughter and then marrying Bunji Garlin and having to fight to come out of the Bunji Garlin's wife era, for me that says a lot, because a lot of the times women tend to be seen and not really taken seriously.
Right.
Especially on stage. We've had females step on stage and wear almost next to nothing because they think it's the only way to grab people's attention. And I'm one of the artists that I perform pregnant.
Yeah, we saw that.
When I had a baby, when I had a baby a couple weeks after, and it was like, hey, no problem.
Wow.
So, because for me, it shouldn't be just about how I look, but it should be that what comes out of my mouth is entertaining, informative, and makes sense. So, irregardless of my accent, where I'm from, the fact that I'm female, I happen to be very good looking, I happen to have a very nice body. That should not matter. Okay, that should be perks. It should always be said that she can stand toe to toe, neck to neck, go pound for pound, any of her male counterparts. And I've always strived to do that. I should be able to walk on stage in a big, long granny dress and rip the place to shreds.
Would you? I don't think you'll ever do that.
Oh, trust me, I have.
Okay.
I'm that type of artist. I'm in the crowd surfing on a cooler cover and doing stuff that the guys cannot do. That's me.
Fashion-wise, we've watched you over the years.
Yes.
And you went from one extreme to the next, of course.
Yes.
Would you call yourself a fashion icon? Would you ever get into that, get a fashion line or anything like that?
Actually, I am in the process of doing a fashion line for one of the fashion weeks in Trinidad and Tobago. I love fashion. I think it's great. I like having the ability to take something that's regular, like a pair of jeans you pay $10 for, and put it on and have people think it's some sort of Louis Vuitton made something.
You wear $10 jeans?
Trust me, I have.
Okay.
I'm that type of chick. I will wear something that's very cheap, but when I wear it, you are not going to know it because the way it's done, it's supposed to look. Because the thing about it is, I supposed to make the outfit. The outfit's not supposed to make me. So even if I wear something from Target, or Target for you peoples, Target or Walmart for you peoples who don't know, you understand? It's supposed to still look like $1 million outfit.
Okay. Once again, we're talking live with Miss Faye and Lyons. Who's the boss in the household?
I am. What sort of
If
person
we
is that?
ask Bungie,
Did he not tell you?
He said you guys do disagree on some stuff, but he didn't
Oh,
say.
we do. I mean, you can't. Anybody who shares an existing space with somebody else
Right.
for a lengthy period of time,
Right.
and not just share space, but really, I mean, to share space means that you understand that the other person has ideas and ideals and stuff like that. Because a lot of people say, well, I share space with my husband and we don't fuss. No, you don't share space, because once you share space, it means that he has to occupy half and you have to occupy a part. The reason you don't fuss is because either he occupies all or he allows you to occupy all in an event to not have an issue.
Right.
So having issues is not the problem. How you resolve those said issues, now that's the problem, because me and you can have a disagreement. But if I'm cussing while I'm trying to get my point across, now that's the problem. You understand? So we can have a disagreement about anything.
Right.
And be respectful about, okay, I don't agree with your point, you don't agree with mine. Cool, it's not a problem. We're individuals, we're entitled to our own individual opinion. So for us, we do exist in the same space a number of times. I mean, we travel together, we live together, we work together, we're in the office together. But when we do bump heads, it's a bump head from a individualistic perspective where he has his idea, because he's a man, he's a person, and I'm a woman, I have my idea. And normally I win, just for the record, for those listening. I tend to win. And
Does he not let you win, do you think?
well, the thing about it is sometimes people give up. So
Gotcha. Musically.
still
Still, a
a win.
win is a win, right?
A win is a win.
Musically, what's next for you?
Just experimenting. We're experimenting with music on a whole different level. As you know, the face of soca is changing.
Right.
As it has changed from since my father did it. And I think it's a welcome change, and I think it's a warranted change. Because if we don't change and actually adapt and bring new things to the forefront, then the youths are going to turn to something else. And we're going to lose that whole generation of soca lovers that we so need to keep for the music to grow.
Right.
So I think one of the things that we have to be mindful of is, whilst we do need to change, we need to be careful what we change. We can't change the vibe. We can't change the energy. We can't change the essence of what soca music is supposed to be about, which is supposed to be music that unites people and brings a message and is entertaining at the same time.
Right.
So we'll flip it, we'll turn it, we'll twist it. It's like house of pancakes. You know, you have 15 million different varieties, but at the end of the day, it's still pancakes.
Talk to the folks, talk to your fans all around the world. What would you like them? I asked Bungie the same question. What do you think they don't know about you that you'd like them to know about you?
A lot of things. They don't know a lot of things, and rightfully so, because I like to consider myself a movie in the making. If you've seen the end of the movie, the only thing left for me to do is to go bring a part 2. And we know when you do part 2 of most movies, it's not as good as the original.
True.
So I will delay this movie for as long as I possibly could. So people always have something to watch. And, you know, for the fans, I guess they just need to keep, you know, paying attention, keep looking, and you'll see the stuff that you didn't know before. Because I have a lot of loyal, diehard fans from around the world that basically ever so often say, well, I did not know you did that. Like when I went back to law school, they're like, well, I did not know you was interested in law. And then when I opened a bit, I did not know you did this. So if I go to give a list now, then they basically have nothing to look forward to. And I so like surprising people. It's one of my things.
Okay. Any more kids in your future?
It depends. Kids are very expensive, you know. I did the math the other day, and I decided, why is Bungie Gallon pointing at me? I didn't understand. I decided, you know what, because we've been getting tweets and texts, and and Facebook messages. When is Sarai going to get a sibling? I'm like, well, you know what? By the time I get back home, I've opened the Faye and Lyons second baby fund. So what you can do, all your loyal listeners, feel free to donate to the Faye and Lyons have a second baby fund. I take US credit card, IOUs, everything. I even have a links machine in my bag right now for the West Indians.
Are you serious?
Trust me, I'm that chick.
Real business.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes. So if you want a second baby with the economy that we're having right now, hook a sister up.
Man, you are funny. You know what? It's been a pleasure speaking with you, man.
Thank you
It's
very
been a
much.
pleasure.
The same.
Look in one of these cameras. It's the Soca Scene. And just give us a drop for the SocaScene.com.
Hi, this is Faye Lyons, and guess what? All the way from Trinidad and Tobago in Atlanta. You're listening, you're locked into, you're watching the Soca Scene, baby. Number 1.
There you go.